next unit is working with fractions. Specifically for the 6th grade math, the focus is on dividing with fractions. You maybe did a little bit with that at elementary school, but for the most part, haven't worked too much with it. For today, though, we're going to review the stuff that you should hopefully know from elementary school. So start with adding fractions. If I am going to add these fractions, what do I need to do? Yeah, I need to find a common denominator. There's a couple ways you can do this. Since our focus is on the dividing, when we get to that, I'm going to show you a way I think will be easiest for the people that don't know how to do it. If you remember how to do it, obviously keep doing it the way you've been doing it. But if you multiply the denominators, that will make a common denominator for you. It won't always be the least common denominator, but it will make a common denominator. Then what you want to do for your numerators is you want to cross multiply. And when you're cross multiplying, you're going to leave it where the numerator was. So 3 times 1, 3, 2 times 2, 4. Okay? Then, once you get to this point, add numerators, keep the denominator. You could make that a mixed number. For our work today, though, I want to keep them as improper fractions. If you're on the EOG or anything like, or a check-in or anything like that, if it's one where you have to type in the answer, you have to type it in as an improper fraction anyhow. Okay? Any questions on that? As I said, if you remember how to do it, however you were taught, do it that way. Then subtracting fractions. This works the exact same way. The only difference is when we get to the end, you subtract numerators instead of adding them. So look, we can do it just like I did before. I'm going to multiply my denominators. 3 times 4 gives me 12. And I'm going to cross multiply to get my new numerators. This is where it's important that we do like I was saying, and you leave it where the numerator was. So 3 times 3, that's 9. It's got to be on the first one because that's where the numerator 3 was. Order will matter for subtraction. 4 times 1, 4. And then we subtract across the top, keep the bottom the same. Okay? Yeah, and this shouldn't be too bad. This should be hopefully completely a review. One last thing then. Multiplying fractions. When you multiply fractions, what do? Multiply across. Straight across top, straight across bottom. So numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15. I need to simplify. What number goes into both those? 3. So if we divide by 3, we will get 2/5. When you are multiplying with fractions, you can simplify that way sometimes at the beginning by canceling them out, okay? So if a numerator and denominator have the same number, you just cross it out. That saves you a little bit of simplifying later then. That only works really with the multiplying, adding or subtracting. Any questions? All right, then. We also have to be able to do this. All this is taking what we just did on the last unit with order of operations, and we're doing it with fractions. So what do I do first? We would do parentheses. There's nothing really in the parentheses, though. They a lot of times will do it this way to show that the exponent goes with both the numerator and the denominator. Because without the parentheses, it would look like it was just with the 1. Okay? So there's nothing to do in the parentheses in this case, so we'll go to the exponent. That is 1/2 to the third power. So remember, that's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, right? Straight across top, straight across bottom. Yeah, that's going to be 1/8. So now we got 3/4 plus 1/8 minus 1/3. They get done at the same time going from left to right. So we'll do the adding first because, like I said, we go from left to right. This is where, if you know how to find the common denominator, it would be a little bit easier because 8 would be a smaller number. But if you multiply the denominators, that makes 32. We cross multiply, we got 24 and 4. So that's 28 over 32. 4 goes into both of those. So now we got 7/8. Still got to do the fraction, or the subtracting, right? So we would have 7/8 minus 1/3. If we multiply our denominators, that'll make 24. And we cross multiply for the numerators. 21 minus 8. And denominator stays the same. All right, so look, is that a lot more complicated? Yeah, a lot more steps, right? Any of the steps like crazy tough, though? No, with the exponent even, it's just multiplying it out by itself, right? Just like the exponents were with the whole numbers. And then it's just a matter of doing the math with the fractions. When we get to the test for this unit, the test has some stuff on this with the order of operations. All right, we'll have to add division to all this still, but that'll be on there as well, okay?